Welcome everyone to some rare European action now between Nathan Blewitt at the top of the screen and David Hall at the bottom of the screen. I understand through discussions and those that would have listened to the podcast on Monday, this is a Jhoira Storm mirror that was brewed up by Nathan. Nathan at the top. Plenty to play for here, as you can see the points tally on the right hand side. That is not a misprint. Nathan is the favourite for what we've termed the Tyler Adams Memorial Award, which is the award that we're giving out to the person across the leagues that scores the lowest score for the year. We name this because to qualify you have to have played 8 matches. We name this because Tyler set an all-time record last season and only scoring 15 points for the season. So anybody can beat Tyler's score of 15 gets the award renamed after them. So you can see Nathan on 9 points. He's a big favourite at this stage. But I would suggest here in this standard matchup that Nathan is probably the favourite because I believe him and David have been sort of collaborating and playing a bit together, so David got the idea for this deck from him, so you'd imagine Nathan probably knows more about the deck. As for myself, I really don't know anything about this deck, so I'm just going off the fly here. I do know Jhoira when you play a historic spell, which includes artifacts. They cost 1 less and you get to draw a card. Let me just bring up Jhoira just to confirm that. Jhoira, Weatherlight Captain. Okay, so Jhoira is whenever you cast a historic spell, draw a card. So there's no saving here. You don't get anything for less. Both players have their drawers out, and you can see a ridiculous amount of life here. I'm guessing the general idea here is to play a whole heap of shitty, cheap artifacts, and then use something like, is it paradoxical outcome to bounce them all back to your hand, and things like the Mox Amber you can start playing once again, because you can see that David's up to 44 life. Once he goes beyond 50, he's going to be able to subtract the Ether Flux Reservoir, and do 50 points of damage to Nathan, which would win him the match. This recording I have to speak to David about because it's all messed up. You can see there's crap all over the place. Creatures on the left, artifacts and enchantments on the right. This is actually some setting that Matt Powell managed to fix up, so I have to find out how you do that. Both players have an Ether Flux Reservoir out, so this is just a race to 50 life, I'm guessing. You can see David there with 41 is winning this race at this stage, because Nathan is tapped out as well, so I don't know how much. Actually, he's got mana floating, so he's getting. Where's he getting mana from? And just like that, he's up to 41 life. David's at 38, so David has lost a bit. So here's a paradoxical outcome. Okay, I forgot. There's this, I can't remember what it's called, affinity with artifacts. It's got a new term. You can actually use artifacts to pay for things. So you can see here, Nathan has actually got this match now. He's up to 56 life. He just has to mine his Ether Flux Reservoir, so we're going to game 2. So yeah, so this mirror match is just a straight up race to get to 50 life first. Of course, what is required to do this is the Aetherflux Reservoir. I'm not sure how this deck wins if it doesn't resolve that. We might find out here. You can see there's the Ornithopter, he's got the Mox Amber available as well, so there's these artifacts that cost 0. David's holding up a Reduce to Rubble here, which can counter. I suspect if he wants to do that, he's going to do it next turn. So Inspiring Statuary actually gives him... oh, that's a big swing, that one right there. He was... I bet he was holding up Reduced Rubble to counter the Aetherflux Reservoir from Nathan on the next turn, expecting to get the affinity with artifacts from the Inspiring Statuary, but the Abrade has forced him to use it. So we'll see if... Okay, he's got a Jhoira or Aetherflux Reservoir, but here we go. He's going to start drawing cards. He's got a Mox Amber, an Ornithopter, a second Ornithopter. So every time he plays one of these, he gets to draw a card. The Implement of Combustion will draw him a card. Another Mox Amber. So what he's doing now is he'll be digging aggressively, an Implementation of Combustion. These are basically all cyclers. He's going to be digging aggressively to find the Aetherflux Reservoir. The awkward thing here, Mox Amber is legendary, so he can only play one at this stage. Foundry Inspector is a lord that makes artifacts cost 1 less. I think if I was David... no, because he's got Inspiring Statuary, so he can still play Aetherflux through that. And here's a nice tempo swing with Reduced to Rubble, so lands won't untap. I think though, in this matchup, I'm not sure that it really matters, because I think you want to get down to Aetherflux Reservoir as fast as you can, and there was a period there when Nathan was tapped out. It was probably the time to do it. Jhoira is just going to get in with some cheap damage points here. Apologies if that background fan noise is a bit annoying. It's like 90 degrees in Philadelphia, and I have switched off my aircon to record this. So here we go. He's going to try and go for it now. And he's got it, so up to 23. See if he can force a game. 34. He doesn't have Jhoira, so he's not drawing the cards each turn. Yeah, so Jhoira actually really important here. He's short, he's at 41, and he's not going to be able to go anywhere. That is huge, actually. Nathan's got his own Inspiring Statuary. If Nathan can find his own Aetherflux Reservoir, because he's got Jhoira out, I think he's got this one. The other really busted card you could play here is Paradox Engine, which would untap all this stuff. So here's the paradoxical outcome. He's going to bounce and draw again. David with one card in hand is utterly useless now. He just has to sit back and hope that Nathan doesn't have anything. But you can see Nathan's got 13 cards in hand, and he's going to be cycling every single one, so I think this one is over. Bit of a pause here, I'm not really sure what's going on. He's going to go the paradoxical outcome again. Surely he's got 18 cards in hand. He must surely have the Aetherflux Reservoir in there by now. So you can see Ballista there is just a cycler. He's down to 24 cards. I suspect he's going the very long way about doing this. Okay, a braid on the Aetherflux Reservoir, and I think this one is done. Looks like it's going to be a 2-0 win in standard to Nathan. So he's passed the turn with 17 cards in hand, so he's got to discard 10 cards. So a big turn, he heaved and hoed, and in the end didn't really do anything. But I think for David, I don't think he can win from here. You can see he's at 41, but no Aetherflux Reservoir. Too much power on the other side of the board to really do anything. And again, not ideal, so he can only pass a turn. So Nathan 22 cards in hand. Oh, sorry, 22 cards in his deck. There's his reservoir, so now he can start doing his thing. This is going to bounce. Yeah, that's enough. David's seen it, so we're going to modern, where it looks like a brew for a Jeskai, sort of a Jeskai tokens brew for David, but he's had 2 bad mells here. He's going to have to go to 5. You have to keep that one. Plays a Celestial Colonnade. And Nathan's been playing this deck pretty consistently, Elves in standard. You can't really see from his art that he has here, but David is Elven Man 24. He's pretty active in Discord, so a bit surprised he's not playing Elves in Modern. We'll probably see him playing Elves in standard later. Well, that's Cryptic right there, but he's not going to take it. I think that's the right call. You would... This is looking tough early. 4 on the board. I don't know if he's got any Anger of the Gods or Supreme Verdicts in his main. Negate's a pretty bad card in this matchup. It does target... Excuse me. Collected Company and possibly Court of Calling, but apart from that, nothing much else going on. Okay, Lightning Bolt, that works, but he's in an awkward position here where, yeah, you can see he doesn't have the 4th. The thing going for him though is that Elves doesn't really play a hell of a lot of removal. I don't even know if it plays any removal. So something like a Monastery Mentor probably only needs one turn and it's going to take over the game. Oh, but there's a company when the negates, the shields are down. Let's see what he can find. Oh, Elvish Archdruid is a lord, so he's going to take a pounding here. 8 points coming across is going to knock him to 6. But he is going to be able to ambush Nathan on the next turn with that lightning bolt. He'll bolt the Archdruid, get prowess on the Mentor, and take down two of the attackers with one getting through, with three getting through. But he's dropping to 8 right now. I think the ideal play, if you're David, is you want to hit a land next turn so you can cryptic and tap all creatures and draw a card, and then you can do that twice in a row. I think he can actually win doing that. Nathan just weighing up an attack here. I think you got to swing all those. Yeah. No way he's using that mentor to block. So he's down to 6. Jace, I don't know. I wouldn't have. He's conceded that game pretty quickly. I think I would have played at least another turn there. This hand not too bad. He plays a Steam Vents untapped. Guess what that is? That's kind of a give that it's a lightning bolt, particularly when you're up against a deck that plays minor accelerators, but he doesn't need to fire that bolt off there. Electrolyze is going to be really good if he can get another 1-drop from this. Okay, Mentor on this board, this is good. Dwynen's Elite is just a 2/2, so you can tell Nathan had no turn 2 play, and so that Dwynen's Elite was his draw for the turn, and this is looking pretty ominous. Now this is, he can swing here and feign something, because I don't think he's going to block with the Elite. He's not going to. 3 mana open, can too easily prowess. Oh, Lifecraft is bestiary. That's actually a decent card in this deck. So this one, I think we're going to game 3. I think we didn't see Nathan's hand, but I suspect he kept a pretty bad one. You can see he's kept the Elvish Archdruid on top, because if Nathan wants to play it, he's going to have to tap out for it. Which he does. So he can take 3 here, but Electrolyze will take it down. As this prowess triggers are going to be huge here. He's going to keep the Serum Visions just so that he can get a prowess trigger. I didn't see that card. I was half asleep. What was it? Oh, Serum Visions. Okay. Well, he already knew it was Serum Vision, so I don't know why he's gone and why he then plus Jace on himself. But this one's going to game 3. There's no outs here. Not even Collector Company, I think, can save him from here. I think, yeah, I shipped the spell quality to the bottom. I think the only thing from here he's interested in are cards that trigger prowess. You can see Cryptics, he's at 1, so unless he's bought in like a Damnation, but he hasn't, so we've got game 3. Is Ecstatic Caster very good? Oh, I'm surprised he shipped that hand. Oh, Nathan's mulled to 4. Oh, and Static Caster's back on top, so this is awkward here for him because I think he wanted to play the Tarn and into the Bolt, which he can do. He's on the draw, I forgot, I'm sorry. Plays the Clonade, so he's going to be able to bring it as Ecstatic Caster next turn, which is... You can see 2 targets for it already. And with Cryptic Command backup, this is looking pretty good if you're David, pretty bad if you're... Now, I'd flash his Static Caster in now so that he can't tap. That's what he's going to do. Static Cast is just a... I don't know how the Elves is going to beat that. Oh, he should have taken the Llanowar Elves to deny him the mana there. I don't know how Nathan's going to beat this as a Static Caster. This is really ugly. He's got a Llanowar Elves, but that just dies. See, two lightning bolts in hand and a Cryptic Command. Collected Company is his last card in hand. The Cryptic's going to take care of that, so this one's done. Yeah, Nathan's had enough. We're going to Legacy. Okay, here's the deck from David. It's what he calls Elfstorm. See what Nathan's fetched up a Badlands from a Wooded Foothills, so I'm not really sure what he's on. And he passes the turn. Interesting. Well, this is a pretty explosive start right here from David already. Elves, I'm not really sure how this works. I know in Division 1, Oliver King is a bit of a Elves expert, but he's gone away from that. He's been playing a different deck for a while now, actually, in Legacy. You can see David's got access there to the Archdruid, if he can get the mana, which he's one short, I believe. What's going on over there? Plays a Faithless Looting. Is he on Reanimator? We're about to find out. Oh no, he's playing Storm. So Legacy Storm. Archmage comes down, it's the Lord. I don't know why Nettle Sentinel didn't attack there. Now, I have no idea what Nathan's doing. Storm is like... the only thing I know about Storm is do something to their graveyard. I've got no idea what card you're meant to target in that graveyard. I don't know how to stop it. I know that they win with... I can't even think of the name off the top of my head. That black card. No, not Flame Tendril. Tendrils of Agony? No, I forget the name. You might see it. But you can see with David here, he's got... Oh, there's a 5/5 Regal Force. 3 Glimpse of Natures. I think I keep that Heritage Druid until the next turn when I play the Glimpse of Nature. Oh no, because he's going to be able to tap it for 3, isn't he? Again, he doesn't attack with the Nettle Sentinel. I don't know what that's about. Obviously, he knows the deck far better than I do. Okay, is this the thing now? Is Nathan going to go off? You can see in the bottom right hand corner next to the F3 cancel skip, there's a number. It's currently about to go to 4 just now. That's the storm count. Okay, Dragon Storm. Okay, this is pretty cool. Nathan tends to play a lot of brews. He makes his own brew videos, and this is a pretty cool brew. I'm going to go out on a limb here, and I'm going to call this Dragon Storm. That's the name of the card, Dragon Storm. He's just made 15 Power of Dragons. It's also hitting David and killed him. So yeah, that's a pretty cool deck there from Nathan to take game 1. I don't know if that's his brew, if he got that from somewhere, but it's pretty impressive. So it looks like then both players trying to win with Storm. I'd be curious to know what this deck curious to know what David's deck does to beat graveyards. In our league, you absolutely must have a plan to beat graveyards, because every man and his dog plays Reanimator, myself included. I know that the Elves will main deck the Deathrat Shaman. He's got a Regal Force coming down here. Wow, so that's pretty explosive turn 1 play right there. Or turn 2, sorry. You can see the way he plays here. David's obviously played this deck a number of times. Probably more than a number of times. I'm curious to see what if Nathan has bought in any sort of sweeper. Nathan just sitting there watching it. If he finds a gut shot, this one's over. You can see his storm count's up to 15 with these elves. We just sit back and watch this. Because he played the Glimpse of Nature, every time he plays one of these, it's just drawing him a card as well. What's he going to look for here? Oh, Tendrils of Agony, that's right, that's the card I was trying to think of. So what he wants to do is he found one, he's looking through. Where is it? It's not there, he doesn't have it yet. So he's drawn an absolute mountain of cards. This is just ridiculous. All I'm thinking while I watch this is if I'm on Reanimator and I'm facing Elves, Elish Norn for sure. Can't believe he's got 19 cards in hand. It's, Storm count at 23. 17 cards left in his deck, and he's not been able to find one of his Storm cards yet. Still cannot find. You can see he's got 16 mana floating, so this one is over. We're about to go to game 3. Because he's getting a card draw from every single one of these cheapo creatures that he's playing. And Storm count's at 28. We did see a Grape Shot in the previous game. So, and we saw the Tendrils of Agony. So he's got at least 2 ways to win this. So he's still digging. I saw black and thought, there, finally. But no, it wasn't that. He's still got Elvish Visionary. He can actually draw 2 cards off that. There it is, finally. So we're going to game 4. Game 3. Tendrils of Agony. Doing about, what's the storm count? 32. So it's going to do about 60 something damage, 64 points of damage. So game 3, winner takes all. After Nathan comfortably took standard 2 games to 0, David fought back to get modern 2 games to 1, and we're locked up at 1 apiece in legacy. Yeah, randomated players against Elves. I'm guessing it's Elish Norn, and Chancellor of the Annex. Against Storm, it's Chancellor of the Annex is your all-star, and Iona name him Black. Either play would shut down the Storm player. In terms of what I mentioned earlier, the Tyler Adams Memorial Award, that Nathan sits on 15 points. So he's equal with Tyler now, which means the award will not be getting renamed this year. There is still 2 rounds to go, but the reason I mention that is because his next week opponent is Felix Stanitzer. And then his other, who is the perennial favourite in this group, and then his final week opponent is Paxton Pangunaban, who finished 2nd in Europe last season. I always say last year, but it was last season. And for what it's worth, Tyler is rooting for Nathan because he takes a bit of pride in having the award named after him. What's he going to name with Cabal Therapy? Tendrils of Agony? He's thinking. He's like, oh no, I forgot the name of that card. No. Oh, Seething Song, okay. He managed to get 1. Yeah, so naming Seething Song there, looks like he knows the deck. He's been up against his deck and knows it quite well. David has. Myself, I'm a noob, and I would have named. Well, obviously, must have been completely wrong. Because you can see from that Cabal Therapy that Nathan could have actually gone Dark Ritual into Seething Song and then had 5, 6, 7, 8 mana available, so he could have played the Boggart and Hellkite if he wanted to. Or the Dragon. No, he would have been 1 short of Dragonstorm. Here's Green Sun Zenith, Green X, and search your library for a green card. A lot of talk about that card recently to potentially unban it in Modern. But we can see now, David is out of cards. He's going to flash back Cabal Therapy. He's going to name Seething Song. I'm not sure what happened there. I thought he named Seething Song the first time. He's got 4 power on the board. He's out of resources. I don't know if 4 power is going to be fast enough to beat this deck. I'm not sure what he's doing there. He tapped a green for no reason. Okay, 6 power on the board, 3 turn clock. What can Nathan do on the other side? Okay, there's his own Storm card, but obviously no Storm at the moment. But this is going to be a big kicker coming up. How much can he kick it for? 3 times he can kick it. Oh, Nathan needs something off the top right now or he's dead. He's down to 5. There's lethal on board. Okay, is he going to go off? Dark Ritual into Cabal Ritual. Into Cabal Ritual. 7 floating. Dragon form. Not yet. Now. So he could have actually... It looks like he's got lethal power here from these dragons. 19. That's lethal on the board right there. David needs... I think... Is David just dead? How does he get himself out of this one? I think he's thinking, what can I possibly do here? The storm count is 2. That's going to do 4 damage. Yes, so he lost the match. I think that's the end. It's been incorrectly... What is going on here? I believe Nathan actually won. I have... This is skipped forward. They've started another match. I'm not really sure what this is all about, but you can see David has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. He's got lethal on board, so the points are awarded to David. I have to find out what happened there exactly.